Good day and welcome back to the Farm Cook Kitchen. Today we're doing pork tenderloins. Welcome back to the Farm Cook channel. This is the place where you get to eat well, have fun, and hopefully learn lots, especially about low carb and keto cooking. So now let's get ready and make some dinner. This is going to be an Asian inspired marinade that includes lime, zest and juice, soy, ginger, garlic, cilantro, a little bit of sriracha, a little bit of ginger, and that's pretty much it. It's a very, very delicious marinade and it goes perfectly with pork tenderloins as well as, oh my gosh, super yummy for flank steak as well. So let's dive in. So we've got our implements here. I think I'm going to do the I'm going to do the marinade first. And the prep is pretty straightforward because you don't have to go absolutely buck willy because it's a marinade, right? It's not something you have to worry about the presentation. You're really just trying to make sure that you're getting the flavors from whatever stuff you're using, trying to just get that into the liquid that then your protein will soak in for a while. So I'm just going to rough chop the ingredients for the marinade and let them just hang out over time to infuse the tenderloin with that absolute delicious flavor. Shallots are underrated. If you haven't used shallots much previously, bless you. Shallots are awesome. And they provide kind of an oniony flavor, if that's a term, but aren't onions. They aren't as sharp as onions. They're in the same family, but they're not the same. The other thing I'm going to do is throw the ingredients into a bag. Actually, let me use a bowl first. Try and get everybody together in the pool. So we're trying a new camera. Hope the video quality is working okay. I forgot the squisher for the garlic. Where is the garlic press? We'll see if the camera can keep track of me throughout this entire experience. I've got a bunch of garlic here. This is probably 10 cloves of garlic, but I'm doing a total of 4 tenderloins. Costco sells a 2-pack of pork tenderloins, and I think it was, what was it? $2.29 a pound. I mean, come on, you can't beat that. I was at Walmart the other day and they had just a single 2-pack for over $5 a pound. So, and it wasn't like it was a special heritage beef or anything, or sorry, heritage pork. It's just, sometimes they're just much better deals at Costco. Which is why I do a lot of my shopping there. I'm a frugal guy, so I would do a lot of shopping at Costco, at Walmart. I'm a frugal guy. So we got some limes you need to zest, and then juice. And I was planning to do the prep first, but I thought I haven't really shown the prep previously, and now that this camera can follow me around, might as well give that a shot. So all I'm doing is taking off the outer bit of the lime to get the zest. It's a huge amount of flavor in the skins of citrus. So whenever you have a chance, if you have a recipe that calls for it, try and get the zest. It's an awesome amount of flavor. Just, you can smell it permeating the room. Perfuming is probably the better term. And once these guys are pretty well devoid of zest, we can get to the juicing phase. But this is a very easy, very straightforward marinade. I think, if I remember correctly, and I'll put it in the description below just to double check, but I believe the marinade calls for a cup of soy sauce, about a half a cup of lime juice. I think it's another cup of vegetable oil. I'm using avocado oil just to try and get away from the seed oils. Not sure if that's a thing or not, but just to be safe, might as well use that. Need a little bit of heat, and I happen to run out of jalapeno. I would chop up some jalapeno and throw that in to soak for a bit, but in this case, I'm probably just going to shoot in a little bit of sriracha, and then some ground ginger as well to provide a little bit more sweetness and a little bit different character. Ginger is another one of those ingredients that when it's in a dish, you notice it, but you don't know exactly, oftentimes, unless it's super overwhelming, you don't really notice what it is. There's something different, there's something cool that's in the background that makes things very yummy. So I'm just gonna keep on zesting. And then I'm gonna start dressing, trimming the pork tenderloins. Tenderloins are awesome proteins because they're, as the name suggests, tender. And they're super versatile. You can flavor them a lot of different ways. You can bake them, you can grill them. They're not great to smoke, or at least in my experience, they don't work as well to smoke because oftentimes when you're cooking low and slow, you're trying to break down connective tissue and fat, and these guys are super lean. They just don't have it. The one thing they do have, that when you're buying these already packaged tenderloins, they'll often have silver skin on them. That's the fascia, the stuff that holds the muscle fibers together into bundles. So that's super tough. It's not yummy. So you definitely want to make sure you trim those. I mean, you don't have to, but I don't think it's a very pleasant experience to bite into a piece of otherwise yummy, soft, delicious protein and then have to chew and chew and chew and still not be able to break the stuff down. So it makes a lot of sense to remove the fascia, the silver skin, and we'll get to that shortly. This lime has been hanging out for a while. It's pretty dry, so I think we'll just get the zest off of him and call it good. Yeah, there's probably not a lot of juice left in there, but there'll be some flavor left in the zest. And I'm just trying to take off the outer layer. I'm not trying to get down to the white part, the pith, because that can be pretty bitter. So this is an awesome marinade for pork and for beef, especially. And I like to do marinades for proteins that don't have a lot of fat on them, because fat is flavor. And if you don't have a lot of fat, then sometimes the result can be kind of boring. Like pork tenderloin, fine by itself, but when you add a bunch of flavor from a super yummy marinade like this, that's pretty good. All I'm doing right now is chopping up these limes so we can start squeezing the stuffing out of them and get that yummy juice. The juice is gonna not only add flavor, but there's a little bit of acidity there, so that'll help tenderize the protein. And I'm not trying to extract every last drop from this. I'm trying to just trying to make sure that there's enough juice and zest to infuse the tenderloin. Gonna be yummy. Cannot wait. This is one of those things that I'm gonna be doing a marinade that includes 4 tenderloins. So it's great for meal prep. You can do a big batch at one time, or if you're having a party, you can do this marinade in advance. It only takes a couple of minutes to actually cook on the grill, on a hot grill. Get it to a nice medium rare temperature. Slice it up and serve it. People go absolutely crazy over it, or at least they do in my family. One of my wife's uncles, when he first encountered this particular marinade with a pork tenderloin, almost didn't let me get to the rest of the guests because he was very enthusiastic about it. Good old Uncle Joe. So we're almost done juicing our limes, and then we can get to breaking down the tenderloins. See, it just doesn't take very long to put this all together. It's going to take a little bit of time to trim up the protein, but the actual marinade doesn't take very long. So when you're putting together a marinade, I think the general rule is to make sure that there's something savory, that's flavor, something acid, something oniony, oftentimes something acidic, and some oil. So to that end, we've got, oh, we don't have it yet. We've got cilantro, providing some of that yummy flavor. And I'm just going to use an entire bundle of cilantro. Make sure that there's no bad sections. And again, this is just a quick marinade. We're just going to rough chop. And it doesn't matter if there's stems in there. Stems have some flavor, and that'll provide flavor as things are soaking. Just want to make sure there's no black parts. And that's it. What do we have next? Oh, got our soy and our veggie oil. Make sure everybody's in the pool. And what I'm going to do is move the pool over here so it doesn't cause a problem. Or I don't cause a problem. Let me get these guys prepped. And each of these packages contains 2 tenderloins, so it's pretty nice. A lot of protein. So I'm looking for a knife that can get into some small areas and super sharp. All I'm doing is drying these guys off. Getting them ready to get broken down. And I'm not going to get super aggressive with the fat. I am going to get I'm going to be very conscious of the white, tough skin, the silver skin. Need to make sure we remove all of that. All right, those are the 4 tenderloins. Let me wash my hands. Oops, a couple of the shallots jumped. All right, so all I'm gonna do is just try and remove as much of the silver skin as I can and try to retain as much of the good meat. So again, fascia, not delicious. And it doesn't matter how long you cook it. Like I said, you could cook it to the point where it would break down, but the rest of your muscle fibers would be disintegrated by that point. So wouldn't be yummy. So and it's easy enough to just trim this stuff away. It just takes a little bit of time. And you can be pretty well, you do want to take your time. You do want to make sure you're getting all of the bad stuff removed without removing much of the good stuff. A little bit of meat will ultimately go along with the fascia. And yes, sometimes you do have to maneuver the protein a bit to be able to get what you need. And I am no surgeon or butcher. I'm just a guy trying to get dinner ready. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. This is one of those things that my family didn't do very much, so I had to sort of pick this up outside of the home. I learned a great deal about cooking from my parents. But not everything. I'm still learning. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put these guys into a giant Ziploc baggie. So I think that's the best way to make sure that the marinade comes in contact with the protein for as long as possible, and you don't get areas that are exposed and others that are dry and whatnot. So I think it works. Works for me. So I'm just gonna keep whittling down this tenderloin, or these tenderloins, until I don't see any more of that silver skin. That's super tough fascia. And you can see where it actually, these are connecting. At the end of the muscle. Pretty cool. One teeny little piece here. And when you do have one of those smaller pieces, you got to be careful, because it's really easy to nick yourself. Such good protein. I mean, there's a Cuban marinade that you can pick up at a lot of stores, Mojo Criollo, or Criollo, not sure the pronunciation. Works beautifully with this. Let them, you know, just dump a bottle of that into a Ziploc bag with your cleaned up pork tenderloin. Let that go for, I don't know, a couple hours to overnight, and then cook your protein. Man, is that good. Good stuff. A little bit of the fascia right at the very end here. Just need to trim this guy. And I think we're good over here. And you can see I'm not going completely buck willy trying to get every little piece of fat or whatever off. I don't care about fat. That'll add flavor. But fascia is not yummy. That is just fat. Don't have to worry about that. This is fascia, so let me get here. Nice. All right. I think these guys are good. So there's one already in there. That's 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now for the marinade, I mentioned a couple of other items that I wanted to include. Let me get those from the fridge, see if the camera can find me. Got a little bit of ginger already whizzed up and ready to go. So this is going to be about, I think, a tablespoon and a half. Yep, there we go. And a little sriracha. Just a little bit of heat. You won't taste very much. This is intended to be kind of a background note. And that's the marinade. And all I'm going to do is mix this up a little bit and then shove it into the plastic bag. And then make sure everybody is coated. If you were not following a low carb kind of a plan, something yummy to add to this would be honey. Not a lot because you don't want it to burn when it's cooking, but something that provides a little bit of sweet to go with the sourness of the lime. Very, very tasty. I have used non-sugar sweeteners like allulose in the past with this marinade. It's funny, I think the ginger provides enough sweetness, at least for my palate, for this marinade to work very, very nicely. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just pour this into the sink so I don't have a disaster. Or at least if I do, it'll be contained. And that's what we have. Giant bag of deliciousness. Try and squeeze out as much air as you can. And just in case, keep it in a pan so if there is a leak, it's contained. That's it. After this soaks for a while, we're gonna put it on the grill and cook it to a medium, actually closer to rare, medium rare. That's it. All right, now, next step, put this in the fridge, let it soak for, I don't know, it's not even 1 o'clock yet. So by the time it gets to be close to dinner, this will be well on its way to being ready. I'm probably gonna check it a couple of times during over the next couple of hours and flip it just to make sure that there's even coverage of the marinade. But this is gonna be yummy. Can't wait. So now it's time. It's time to get those guys onto this guy. This cooker's been heating up on high for the past 30 minutes, and it's probably 90 degrees out here, so it's starting off with a pretty good head start. Temperature, I just was cleaning the grill. The thermometer is saying about 500 degrees. I don't know exactly what the deck temperature is, but it's screaming hot. What I've done is I brushed it down really well. I've dried off the protein as reasonably as possible. You don't want to steam it. You don't want to have it saturated in marinade when it's hitting the grill. First of all, it'll start steaming first, which won't give you really nice grill marks, but it also causes a bunch of gunk on the inside of your cooker. So dried those off pretty well. Now it's just time for everybody to get cooking. Use some pretty good sized tenderloins. And we're just gonna let them cook for about 2 minutes and then rotate them 45 degrees to get some really nice grill marks on them. We'll flip them another 2 minutes and then 45 degrees. It's gonna be awesome. It's been about 2 minutes. Let's turn these guys 45 degrees. All right, those aren't perfect 45 degrees. It's fine. They'll look good, and more importantly, they'll taste good. Now let's see what things are looking like and flip them over. Getting some really nice caramelization. These guys are almost ready. Another 2 minutes on this side, another 45, then turn another 45 degrees. They'll be done. We're back for the final turn. Looking good. So now what we're gonna do is take them off the fire, let them rest for about 10 minutes or so, let those juices sort of coalesce, and then we'll slice in, see what we have. Looking really nice. Feeling good too. I don't know if you can see this or not, but those are some good looking tenderloins. So now we've had a little bit of time for these guys to get a rest. Might as well start slicing into them. Let's check this guy. So first of all, I'm a lefty, unfortunately, but you can see, I don't want them to drip all over the place. You can see the nice grill marks we got from that flipping. Let's just take a little bit off the end here. That is perfect. Exactly what I was going for. Let's see how the flavor is. Juicy, limey, a little bit of that oniony character that you get from shallots. A little bit of garlic, a little cilantro, but not much. So yummy. This is going to be a whole bunch of awesome meals. Great batch cooking. I'm going to throw a couple of these in the vacuum sealer, pack them away in the freezer for another day. Maybe use some for tacos. It's very, very tasty. Grilled, marinated pork tenderloins. They're yummy. Give it a try.